If you had the ability to change the world, would you do it? We're here tonight at Brennan Theaters watching Tomorrowland. You have George Clooney at the head of this, who's kind of, I would call him a pessimist a little bit. He's a little bit angry of a person, and then when you get to see why he's angry, it's a really well done movie. Yes, there is some propaganda stuff in this movie, kind of goes without saying, but when you get to the end of the movie with what the whole concept of this Tomorrowland is, it makes you think. And it's such a simple, just like real down to earth, it's so simple yet so true, you're kind of like, touche, Disney. Graphics were amazing, of course, when it comes to Disney. They just throw money at stuff. But they used the graphics and the special effects when needed. Especially with the pen, when she touches the pen, it's in the preview. That still amazes me. Even when I watch the preview, I'm just like, God, that is so perfect. I loved all the cast in the movie. Everybody did a good job. I believed the characters that they were playing. I actually had fun with the movie. I do have a little bit of beef with it. The movie is called Tomorrowland. I would have liked to have seen more Tomorrowland. I feel it suffers from Godzilla-itis, where we watch Godzilla, and Godzilla's not even his own movie. I understand Tomorrowland isn't the destinational part of the film, it's kind of the journey to it, but it would have been nice to see more of that, and I'm kind of hoping they make another one so I can see more of that. And there's all kinds of ways they could easily do a sequel to this without it being too reachy or, shoehorn it in. Disney, I challenge you to make another one. I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. Reason being is I felt I didn't see enough Tomorrowland. And then when I did get to see Tomorrowland, it was pretty awesome. Robots, rockets, gadgets, things you can imagine and think of. That's what I liked about it. It's like a dreamer's heaven. If you have an imagination, that's the place for you. To see what the other Imagineers had to say, let's check that out right now.
I think this movie is something that we haven't seen much of lately. I think that modern day movies and modern day blockbusters are all about action, and they're all about suspense and that edge of your seat. And I feel this movie was about wonder. With this movie, we went back to something that used to be a big deal with movies. Back in the day of Indiana Jones, for example, where it was an action movie, but it was all about wonder. It was all about that large shot, that what is that, oh my God, I want to see more. It was the experience instead of just the what's the biggest explosion we can get, or how high can we crank the adrenaline of the person sitting in the audience, which there's wonderful things in that movie. We watched Mad Max, and Mad Max was pure adrenaline. It was amazing. This isn't that movie. This movie it's all about the wonder. It's all about the slack-jawed people in the audience just wanting to see more of what they're showing you. And then under the veneer of that wonder that makes it so fun to watch, is this amazing message that might even make some of the people in the audience feel a little uncomfortable because it hits so freaking hard. So I think that this movie, if it was done badly, would have been called preachy. But I don't think it was done badly. I think it was done to a point where it makes you think. And I think that the ride to get to the moral is well worth it. I also think it was perfectly casted. I think that George Clooney, I couldn't imagine anybody else being in that part, and I'm not really a big fan of his. But I think he did really good in that role. I think he was perfect for that spot. I liked the girl that played Athena. I think she did amazing. I think that all the characters were done really well, especially considering what they are and when you learn more about them, how they fit. I think it was really well done. I'm left with that feeling of disappointment, but not at the movie, but just because I want more of that feeling of wonder. I want to see more of what they were showing me, and I want to see more of that world. Once you get to the end of the movie, I think that the message and the moral of that movie is very important.
I really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the moral of it, and I really, really got into it because of what they were saying in this movie. And it sucks that we can't talk about it in a way because it really says a lot. And it was really, really, the way they put it and everything, it hits you hard. And me personally, it hit me pretty hard. It made me think of things like, back in the day, what was I doing and all that kind of thing. Because I think more of what I got out of this movie was the thinking, kind of made me think and made me, open up to what I used to like as a kid. And these kind of movies that are just kind of like, you could say magical, I guess, or just kind of like futuristic, kind of cool, like the robots and everything like that we were, you were talking about. It's really cool to see all those things that we used to, back in the 80s, we used to see all those movies. We're like, oh, that could come true. Has it? Could it? Anything like that? I never read the book. I know people told me about the book, but I never really listened. So I guess I should have listened because I would have known what I was coming into. Great movie, go see it. You know, it's good for kids and everything. It's really actually a good, kid movie if they don't fall asleep on it.
I enjoyed the plot. I enjoyed the acting. Everybody who did it in this was really good. You had these two little boy young actors who have been in 2 movies, and they look very similar, but they're not. One's from The Switch and one's from the Looper movie. I really enjoyed the young acting talent in there, and also you had the younger girl who played the younger version of Kristen Stewart and Snow White and the Huntsman as well. So they had a lot of young talent in this movie. I enjoyed Hugh Laurie and I enjoyed George Clooney in this movie. I haven't seen him in a movie in a while. For younger kids, probably under the age of 6, they can get the same message from the Lorax. Kids over 10, take them to see this movie. The message is very driven to, the next generation and to, take part and be a change. There was a lot of positive messages for people in that, but what I also did enjoy was a lot of the effects. The effects were amazing, but what else do you expect from Disney nowadays?
Right.
They can't go wrong on anything they do. Everything they touch is going to be golden.
It's unique. It's definitely unique. When I went in there, I was expecting to see nothing but action and explosions and like Avengers or something. But it had good story. It had good character development. The actors. Casey, great acting. I mean, she played the whole kind of nerdy-ish, smart, genius character who was like curious about everything. She wanted to know, but she was just a perfect candidate for it. She played that really well. There was moments when you'd probably see no expression from an actor, or you would see just like, oh, I'm scared. She was just like, oh my god. She was like really into it, and I think that's what made the story actually better than it would have been. If you had different actors. It's great for kids. It's great for adults. It's just your overall family movie, but it has a really cool message. It's kind of inspiring, it just kind of shows you what the world is today and where we're going.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give this and why?
Definitely a 9. I would give it a 10, but I think that 1 point off is just because I wanted more. Maybe like 30 more minutes.
I give it a 9. I do. I give it a 9. I don't think there was ever a part where I was just like, well, that's stupid or that's dumb. I thought that there was a little bit of humor that was necessary, but most of it was just kind of to the core of a person is that you want to always have that hope.
I give this movie a 9. And the reason being is because I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. Okay, it's not a perfect movie on any sense, but it was there enough for me to enjoy it, and I really got what they were trying to give us, which was that moral.
I give this a 9 out of 10, and the only reason I don't give it a perfect score is there were a couple points in the movie that kind of broke immersion. I feel like there were a couple of scenes that were added in either to lengthen the movie or to give it more action so it will please the normal audience member. But overall, it was masterfully crafted, and anybody that asks me if they should see it is going to get a very enthusiastic yes from me. And I actually think it's going to cause me to think about things. I hope it does that to a lot of people, because obviously the idea of a movie changing the world is obviously kind of a far-fetched thing, but wouldn't it be neat if it could?
If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Like this video, favorite it, share it, like us on Facebook. So the question this week, something that you guys when you were little, younger, what did you dream of and or want it to be? For myself, I always wanted to be a paleontologist. Yes, the idea of digging up dinosaur bones totally thrilled me. Dug so many holes in grandma's backyard, my own backyard, just to find nothing. Serious, what's something that you dreamt of or wanted to be? Just shoot that down in the comment section below. And as always, we'll let you know before you go at Brennan Theaters. Michael, make me disappear. To see what the I am working for free, 0 benefits, no health plan. What is something that you've dreamed of? What is, no, damn it. I gotta do it again. Hey, this movie, another thing, Disney, you said this is PG, you had a lot of cussing. They said damn a couple times, they said hell a couple times, and a lot of decapitations.
Decapitation of robots. I mean, they
Doesn't
can do that-
matter, heads are coming
they did
off.
that in Star Wars.
There's things, because back then you could do that in a PG movie, it'd be fine.
No, in the prequels they did it.
In Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, he says and it's PG-13. PG, sorry. I gotta get my thing out there
Oh,
for the
the
people
movie
that don't comment.
Movie Big, Tom Hanks had one F word in it.
Mike is totally like no homo, and I'm afraid to touch Nick in that fashion. I don't think we're that
Because if
cool.
I let you, you'll then say, I knew you were gay. I need one. Whatever. You'll that's oh like
It's because he
dude,
submitted to me. He could have left, but he said, "Take me on my bed."
That's not what I said.
And then his mom's like, "What's going on in there?"
That was
Michael's
actually
like,
my.
"Come
God. Okay.
It's not
He doesn't need to see
Mike
that.
Barnes and gay stuff. You guys
I'm not gay.
back. Come see my new movie."